Hey, Freya talking about Sequoia RC3A. Now talking about the control point. So with the clip brushes on, just to make it a little bit easier to read the geometry of the map. Oh, by the way, did you know that you can I don't know, I think it's just like weird clipping or something, but you can get caught up on here. I think it's like you're standing on the top of the V-Collide wireframe. Like if you type V-Collide wireframe 1, you can see those things, and maybe you're standing on the top. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Oh, did you know that there's no draw visible right here? I wanted to say that before we get completely on track. Okay. Defending the control point is weird feeling because this route right here, coming up the stairs from the ramp, the main ramp, the bridge, is this staircase right here is the route that all the robots take to get to the control point. And this is also where all the humans players come from when they're defending the area. And you don't see the stairs, but it's really, really, really quick for robots who are standing by the bridge or being even shrouded by that. You see a couple of robots and you're shooting at them, and then boom, they're just in front of you. And it's surprising, but it's also really constricting and annoying, because maybe I could even just do ent create object sentry gun. I think it's one. I'm glad that isn't killing me right now. You know what? And fire picker kill. Never mind about that. When a sentry gun is standing right here and there's an engineer here and he's going back and forth between the ammo, which is in this building, which by the way, I think the ammo and maybe the health pack too could be moved over to here or here or here, or at least maybe move the ammo over into one of these locations, just because it's a little bit difficult to tell that there's any ammo in that location at all, especially when you're coming out to defend the control point and you're looking around for ammo. And there is ammo way over here, but for some reason nobody ever comes over here. I'll get to that in a minute, but I do kind of feel like if there is ammo available in here and here, you still keep the benefits of having it in this room. And then you just need to put some detail in this location here. But sorry about my burping, by the way. Sorry, my stomach gets all flustered in the morning when I drink caffeine. Okay, yeah, I think having the ammo in here would just make it a little bit easier to tell in your peripheral, when you're defending this location, you go, oh, there is ammo just over here, okay, because I was looking for it or something, and then maybe you'd see the health pack too, just in case you needed it, if you didn't want to move that. But, okay, so I do think it's really annoying that all the robots come directly through here, not only because they're surprising when they pop up in your face, but also your sentry gun is here, and your engineer's here, and you can't shoot rockets through a sentry gun or a friendly player character when they're this close, and it just gets really, not really, but out of 10 a 3 or 4 frustrating trying to defend through this tiny area. And it's also annoying if you accidentally hit that sentry gun and it's right in front of you, you take splash damage from it, and then you kind of feel a bit useless defending the point. And then another point of, I don't know, detriment, disgust, anger, frustration, point of frustration I have with this is there will be times when we'll accidentally let a couple of robots through, and I'll go, oh shit, they're capturing the point, and I go to try to defend it, and the natural route of my rocket jump ends me right here, but this is also exactly where the robots are typically. And there was an example, I forget which wave it was, it might have been wave 4 or something, where, on advanced I mean, where I was rocket jumping back and there were bear claw heavies that were coming up this ramp, and there were a couple on the control point itself, and so I rocket jumped back, landed, accidentally didn't see, but landed directly on a bear claw heavy with the crits, and he killed me instantly. And I was just trying to rocket jump back to defend the control point because there were guys there, and the rest of the team were all focusing over here, and no one was going back to defend the control point. And the control point captures relatively quickly. I don't know if you want to increase the time it takes to capture by 2 seconds, 5 seconds. I don't know. I feel like that's probably up to debate a little bit, but it does seem to take a little bit quick to capture, just how the robots tend to not really own the area. It feels like a couple of people will sneak in and everyone's defending over here, and boom, they capture the control point and you're like, oh, what? So I kind of feel like maybe increase the time by like 5 seconds or something. Let me move the visualizer of my audio off this side of my screen because it's distracting. But so having all the robots come through here, I just feel has a lot of frustrations to it, and I think that maybe you should add some sort of route that comes from up here, encircles the rock, and ends up down here, and this would become the main route that the robots end up taking to go and defend, or go and try to take and capture the control point up there. So players who are here, they don't have to turn and be like flanked by all the enemies coming up here, and you don't feel like you're in between and being like, it's always kind of weird having to turn around to kill guys, and then having to do that for the control point, and having to do that for like so many scattered enemies and through this tiny little choke point. It feels really strange. And then if you saw them going up through here, you could like at least move over to here where there's like health and ammo. You can like maybe attack them a little bit. You might want to like shrink down the size of the fence if you're going to do something like that. What else was I going to say? Oh, but I was thinking too, you could then just like tag out this route for like 95% of the robots, so you can still have like support bots like spies and snipers. I think like spies coming through here is totally fine, especially if like a sentry gun is right here. You kind of want spies to have relatively easy sap access just to keep up the pressure on the defense. I feel like that's obvious to say, but I just wanted to say it. And snipers too, I think would be enough of a poke in the side that it's still like interesting to have bots coming up through here. But having like so many robots come through this tiny little space, just it felt weird. So you might want to see, I think it'd be really interesting in here if I turn on display capture. So this is an area, let me zoom out a little bit, in Banana Bay from Blade, and I think it's really interesting that he has this route coming up which is like, you know, angled around the wall. And this is kind of how I imagine Sequoia, where this would be like the floor and it would be coming up, and then this would be like the top of the height where that fence is. Sorry, I'm burping again. And then the robots will be coming up this way, then they come up through this little, like, see how it's like elevated away a little bit? I feel like if I turn off display capture and go back in game, I feel like right there, that could work out pretty well, right? I don't know. Maybe that's not really in your style of displacement. You might have to like move in the rock a little bit. Can I move in that rock a little bit? Yeah, I feel like you can move in the rock a little bit and like have like a ramp coming out, or just like have it branching off of here a little bit. And two, I just remembered that I had another point of feedback about this location. Not only, and getting back to where we were talking last time, where it doesn't really feel like defenders ever really stand here, ever. I don't know, does that seem kind of weird that you have all this ammo and health, but like no one ever defends from over here? Have you seen people defend from over here? I haven't seen people defend from this location before. Even engineers. But there was a time where I think I was like killing some guy with the bomb. Oh, there was like a couple scouts that had the bomb, I think. And so I killed a couple of them, and I'm like, okay, looks like the coast is clear. And then I was standing here, and I had maybe like 36, so it hurt me 120. And I was like pretty low on health or something, let hurt that even more. So I was like this, right? And I'm like, what do I do? 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 And I wasn't really sure if I could rocket jump or not, because I couldn't remember if there was health up there. And of course I know, and I guess I could have just jumped and saw it. But for some reason in the moment I never really assumed that there was health up there. And I kind of wished that there was just like a ramp going up, or I was thinking at the time, alternatively, just have the health pack that was up there move down here too, because that would allow people who are rocket jumping up just to collect some health and then jump up to go and defend the control point. But if you had just instead like a ramp going down, then can you jump on this? Oh, I guess you could just jump on that. That wasn't obvious to me at the time. That doesn't look like a thing I could just jump up and not slide off of immediately. I guess you could always just use it as a ramp. Isn't that something? Huh. But yeah, what's your thought on having this be like the route that robots take to control the control point? Or maybe like some, like half of the robots, or like 40% of the robots go, or like 60% of the robots go. I just feel a lot of contention around all the robots using this one route. Or I guess you could have some robots coming through this route, because then you wouldn't really have to change in the geometry super much. This is just, it kind of feels like it's really like a defense location. But that could work too, I think. It would just probably make this whole back route feel too weird, right? So that's why I kind of feel like having the robots come across here, pass through the stream, and then come up and then go capture the control point would bring this into the fray. It would make this feel a little bit less wide in general, because there's more happenings going over here, and it would make it feel a little bit less annoying having to defend this, because you can actually like move over here without having to clear a whole bunch of robots first, and you can just like be physically more near the capture point or the control point, you know, quicker. You wouldn't have to always be defending and shooting rockets through this tiny little opening. I guess I probably should have played this map more than just a soldier, because I feel like that's probably like a minority issue. I mean, where maybe it is a problem that only affects the soldier, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's all the thoughts I have, I guess. I hope that was kind of interesting. Thanks for watching. I know this was kind of long, but, you know, thoughts.